castle in which his toys are manufactured. His workmen, glorious, nooks, pixies, and fairies live with him, and everyone is as busy as can be from one year's end to another. It is called a laughing valley because everything there is happy and gay. The brook chuckles to itself as it keeps rolling between its green banks. The wind whistles merrily in the trees. The sunbeams dance lightly over the soft grass, and the violets and white flowers look smilingly up from their green nests. One would think that our good old Santa Claus would have no enemies on all the earth. And, as a matter of fact, for a long period of time, he had conquered nothing but love wherever he might go.
But the demons who lived in the mountain caves grew to hate Santa Claus very much, and all for the simple reason that he made children happy. The caves of the demons are 5 in number. A broad pathway leads up to the first cave. In it resides the demon of selfishness. Back of this is another cave inhabited by the demon of envy. The cave of the demon of hatred is next in order, and through this one passes to the home of the demon of malice, situated in a dark and fearful cave in the very heart of the mountain. However, from each one of the 4 caves mentioned, there is a small, narrow tunnel leading to the 5th cave. The cozy little room occupied by the demon of repentance, who is said to be a pleasant sort of fellow who gladly opens a little door, admitting you into fresh air and sunshine again. Well, these demons of the caves held a meeting one day.
I'm really getting lonesome, for Santa Claus distributes so many pretty Christmas gifts to all the children that they become happy and generous. Through his example, and keep away from my cave.
I'm having the same trouble. The little ones seem quite content with Santa Claus, and there are few indeed that I can coax to become envious.
And that makes it bad for me, for if no children pass through the caves of selfishness and envy, none can get to my little
Or to mine.
For my part, that the children don't visit their caves, they have only to live in mine, so that I'm quite as you are.
And all because of this person they call Santa Claus. He is simply ruining our business, and something must be done at once.
So the very next day, while Santa Claus was busily at work, surrounded by his little band of assistants, the demon of selfishness came to him and said,
These toys are wonderfully bright and pretty. Why do you not keep them for yourself? It's a pity to give them to all those noisy boys and girls who break and destroy them so quickly.
Nonsense, the boys and girls are never so noisy after receiving my present, and if I can make them happy for one day in the year, I'm quite content.
I have failed, for Santa Claus is not at all selfish.
The following day, the demon of envy visits Santa Claus.
The toy shops are full of playthings, quite as pretty as those you are making. They make toys by machinery much quicker than you can make them by hand, and they sell that for money while you get nothing for all your work.
but Santa Claus refused to be envious of the toy shops.
I can supply the little ones, but once a year on Christmas Eve for the children are many, and I am but one. And as my work is one of love and kindness, I would be ashamed to receive money to my little gifts. But throughout all the year, the children must be used in some way. So the toy shops are able to bring much happiness to my little friends. So I like the toy shops, and I'm glad to see them prosper.
So the next day, the demon of hatred entered the busy workshop and said,
Good morning, Santa. I have bad news for you. For in the world, there are a good many who do not believe in Santa Claus, and you are bound to hate return. Rubbish, and there are others who resent your making children happy, and who sneer at you and call you foolish or everything. You are quite right to hate such base wanderers, and you ought to be dependent upon them for their evil works.
But I don't hate them. Such people do me no real harmful things. I much rather have them one day than enjoy them.
So the demon determined to use force.
It was well known that no harm can come to Santa Claus while he is in the laughing valley for the furries and reels and nooks all protecting. But on Christmas Eve, he drives his reindeer out into the big world, carrying a sleigh load of toys and pretty gifts to the children. And this was the time and the occasion when his enemies had the best chance to injure him. So the demons laid their plans and awaited the arrival of Christmas Eve.
The roomy sleigh was packed full with huge stacks of toys, and as the reindeer dashed onward, a jolly old Santa laughed and whistled and sang for very joy. for in all his merry life, this was the one day in the year when he was happiest.
Suddenly, a strange thing happened. A roof shot through the moonlight, and the big news that was in the end of it settled over the arms and body of Santa Claus and grew light. The reindeer rushed on board with a lot of toys and carried it quickly out of sight and sound.
The demons carried the kidnapped Santa Claus away to their mountain, where they pressed the prisoner into a secret cave and chained him to the trapdoor so that he could not escape.
What will the children do now?
How they will cry when they find there are no toys in their stockings and there are no toys on their Christmas trees.
And what a lot of punishment they will receive from their parents, and how they will flock to a cave of selfishness
And envy and hatred and malice.
We have done mighty clever things with demons of the caves.
On this Christmas Eve, the good Santa Claus had taken with him in his sleigh Nutter the Real, Peter the Nook, Kilter the Pixie, and the small furry named Whisk, his more favorite assistant. The tiny immortals knew nothing of the capture of Santa Claus until some time after he had disappeared. Little Whisk stuck out his head from underneath the seat and found Santa Claus gone and no one to direct the flight of the reindeer. Boo!
Peter and Nutter and Peter all jumped up on the seat and looked back over the track made by the sleigh. But Santa Claus had been left miles and miles behind.
What shall we do?
We must go back at once and find our master.
No, if we delay or go back there, we have not time to get the toys to the children before morning.
So our first duty is to get the toys distributed as carefully as if Santa Claus were himself present. Afterward, you can search for your master and use the security freedom.
So now they had to distribute the toys according to their own judgment, and they did not understand children as well as the old Santa. When they were ready, the little boy began to wonder how they might rescue their master, and they realized they must discover what had happened to him and where he was.
So Whisk, the fairy, transported herself to the bower of the fairy queen, which was located deep in the heart of the forest. And it did not take her long to find out all about the naughty demons, how they had kidnapped the good Santa Claus.
When Christmas Day came, the demon of malice was guarding the prisoner, and his tongue was sharper than that of any of the others.
The children are waking up, Santa. They are waking up to find their stockings empty. How they will whirl and wail and stamp their feet together. Our case will be full today, oh Santa. It's sure to be full.
Then the demon of malice presently went away and sent the demon of repentance to take her place. Her voice was soft and pleasant in tone.
My sister did not trust me very much, but morning now the mischief is done. We cannot hear the children again for another year.
That's true. Christmas Eve is past. For the first time in centuries, I haven't visited much further.
Their need is hard to make the children selfish and enemies and guilty, and if they come to accuse of demons today, I shall be sure to use some of them to my favorite resources.
Represent yourself?
Oh yes, and even now we can be the directed to the factory, but we can contain some more last minute details of the I simply regret not sharing your factory, and I'm going to tell you this too.
The fellow at once busied himself untying the knots that bound Santa Claus and unlocking the chains that fastened him to the walls.
The word will be adjourned. Good morning and Merry Christmas to you.
He stepped out to greet the bright morning, and a moment later he was on his way to his home in the Latin Valley. Mexico was a snow-covered mountain with a large army made of the most brilliant creatures imaginable. There were numberless youths from the forest, reindeers from the fields, many ranks of pixies, gnomes, and nymphs, and 1,000 beautiful fairies floated along.
This wonderful army was led by Whisk, Peter, Nutter, and Kilter, who came to rescue Santa Claus from captivity and to punish the demons.
It is useless to pursue the demons. They have their place in the world and can never be destroyed.
So the fairies and nymphs and pixies and reals all escorted the good man to his castle, and there left him to talk over the events of the night with his little assistant.
You really did very well, for I found the little unhappiness among the children this morning.
Still, you must not get captured again, my dear master, for we might not be so another fortunate, another kind of carrying out your ideas.
wicked demons of the caves were filled with anger when they found that their clever capture of Santa Claus had come to naught. No one on that Christmas day appeared to be at all selfish, or envious, or hateful, and the demons never again attempted to interfere in his journeys on Christmas Eve.